Never beg for attention. Do these 3 things and watch them feel your absence. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when hope quietly turns into exhaustion. Not because you stopped caring, but because you cared too deeply for too long. Without ever being met halfway, you showed up. You waited. You explained your silence. You softened your tone so they wouldn't feel uncomfortable. You stayed when walking away would have protected your dignity. And still, you felt invisible. This is the moment where most people make the same mistake. They beg for clarity. Beg for consistency. Beg for reassurance. Beg to be chosen. But here is the truth that changes everything. The moment you beg for attention, you teach people how cheap it is to lose you. Power does not live in loud demands. Power lives in quiet certainty. And when you stop chasing attention and start embodying value, something almost unsettling happens. People feel your absence before they understand it. Do these 3 things quietly, without anger, without revenge, and they will feel the shift so deeply that they begin craving the presence they once ignored. First, withdraw your emotional labor without explaining yourself. This is the hardest step, because emotionally mature people want to explain. They want closure. They want to be understood. But understand this, the people who benefit most from your emotional labor rarely appreciate it. Until it's gone, your emotional labor is always checking in, smoothing conflict, earthing your tone, waiting, forgiving, adapting, holding space while yours stays empty. When you suddenly stop doing these things without announcement, something breaks in the pattern, not because you became cold, but because you stopped compensating for their lack of effort. You don't send the follow-up message. You don't fill the silence. You don't rescue awkward moments. You don't remind them of your worth. You redirect your emotional energy back to yourself. And that creates a vacuum. People feel uneasy when their access to you decreases. The emotional supply they relied on disappears. The balance of effort shifts. They may not react immediately. Silence often comes before realization, but internally, something changes. They start asking, why are they quieter? Why do I feel their absence even though nothing officially ended? Why does it feel like I lost something I didn't think I needed? That discomfort is not your responsibility. It is the natural consequence of taking your power back. Second, become consistent with yourself. Not available to them. Availability is often mistaken for loyalty, but over-availability communicates insecurity, not devotion. When you are always available, you become predictable. Convenient. Background noise. Consistency with yourself changes the frequency of your presence. You stop rearranging your schedule for someone who never plans for you. You stop responding instantly out of fear of being forgotten. You stop proving love through exhaustion. Instead, you choose yourself even when it feels uncomfortable. You show up for your life, your routines, your health, your goals, your peace, your growth. And here's the psychological shift most people don't expect. When someone realizes your life does not revolve around them, their subconscious begins to reevaluate your value. Why? Because human attention follows direction, not availability. You are no longer waiting. You are moving. And movement creates gravity. Your time feels valuable. Your presence feels earned. Your absence becomes noticeable. Not because you are playing games, but because you stopped abandoning yourself to keep someone comfortable. Third, let silence speak without bitterness. This is where power separates from ego. Silence used with resentment becomes manipulation. Silence used with self-respect becomes truth. You don't go silent to punish. You go silent to protect your nervous system. You stop explaining what should already be obvious. You stop repeating boundaries that were already crossed. You stop justifying your need for reciprocity. You let your absence answer the questions your words never could. And here's the uncomfortable reality silence creates. They are forced to sit with their behavior. No reassurance from you. No emotional cushioning. No distractions. In that space, 2 things happen. They feel the loss of your presence. They confront the cost of taking you for granted. This is often when messages arrive. Sudden interest appears. Curiosity replaces indifference. Effort resurfaces, not because you begged, not because you demanded, but because your silence revealed your worth more clearly than your words ever could. Why this works? And begging never does. Begging says, please choose me. Embodiment says, I know my value. Begging creates imbalance. Embodiment restores polarity. When you stop chasing, you reclaim dignity, you stabilize your energy, you become emotionally self-contained. And self-contained people are magnetic. Not everyone will return, not everyone will chase, and that is the point. Those who only valued you when you were convenient will fade. Those who truly felt your presence will feel your absence. Either way you win, because you no longer live in emotional scarcity. A quiet reminder for you: if someone only realizes your worth when they fear losing you, remember this: you were never hard to love. They were just distracted by the excess they thought would never end. Never beg for attention. Never chase clarity from confusion. Never shrink to stay included. Do these 3 things quietly. Let the shift speak. Let your absence teach. And whether they return or not, you will have already chosen yourself. That is real power.